In today's activity, you're going to actually be able to solve some pedigrees and be able to read how the trait, the shaded in circles or squares, how that trait is inherited, and what the different letters mean and what the chances are of a new individual that is in that family having the trait. So just a few reminders. Remember that we have these numbers over to the left that tells us generations. You can count from left to right, even if they're not numbered for you. And I might say person 2, 3. So I'm talking about generation 2, person 3 over. Remember that squares are male, circles are females. If they have the trait, that it will be shaded in. If you see a horizontal line, that means a marriage, and a vertical line means children. 2 questions to figure out how this is inherited. Are there more males shaded than females? No, they're equal. So that tells me that it's not sex-linked, it's autosomal. So that means when I'm putting my key together, I can keep my circles and squares together. The second question says, is everyone that's shaded have at least one parent who is shaded? And the answer to that is yes. And so if our answer to the second question is yes, it tells us it's a dominant trait, which means we're going to use the capital letter to stand for the shaded in ones. So let's set up our key first. Okay, so what I do to make my life easier as I'm identifying these things is I make a key. And so I know it's autosomal dominant. That means I can put my circle and square together, the shaded and unshaded. And then I just need to write down, what do they stand for? So I see that the shaded in ones will be at least one capital letter, and the unshaded ones will be 2 lowercase letters. So I always start with my 2 lowercase letters. So I'm just going to grab these and identify all of the ones that are not shaded are going to be 2 little letters. And then I know that all the other ones are at least 1 big letter. But what I want to know is, what is that second letter? Do I have enough information? So look at this dad here. The only thing he has to give are 2 little letters. So that means all of his children will have at least 1 little d. Because of these being shaded in, I know the other one has to be a capital D, because that's what the definition of autosomal dominant is. Now, this mother here, she has to be big D, little d, because of her children. They couldn't have a little d unless they got 1 from each parent. So she has to be capital D, lowercase d. Again, these 2 children here, because of dad, he can only give a lowercase d. So they have to be heterozygous, or big D, little d. But the mom is another story. So I did these Punnett squares to show you that whether the mom is capital D, or capital D, lowercase d, it is possible to have children that are big D, little d. And so because we don't have any other information for her to tell us anything otherwise, that is why she has to be capital D /. Okay, so she would be on a test or a quiz. This answer choice might say big D, or big D, little d, or big D / or not enough information is given. So hopefully this helps you do your own pedigrees when you do this activity.